15-second hold here, 15-second hold here, a little bit like this, a little bit like this, talking with the teammates a little bit, chilling, all cool. But then the next day I used to wonder why I feel like a rusty machine that couldn't really move, and I wondered why for so long, until I found that 7-step routine that's already helped over hundreds of athletes. So what I'm going to show you in this video is an optimized version of that 7-step routine as a complete follow along, so you can follow me along during this video doing the routine. So this routine is for you if you're an athlete that constantly feels sore and stiff and not mobile and just wants to feel less like a rusty machine and more like an athlete that can move freely. So without further ado, let's start right with the first exercise. This routine is going to take about 20 to 30 minutes, and the backwards walking as a warm-up is optional if you don't have a backwards treadmill or a turned off treadmill or a hill you can walk up. You can take a resistance band, wrap it around something, and then start to make banded knee extensions. Banded knee extensions or backwards walking is a great way to get some blood flowing in the lower body, warm up the tissues before you start with the actual routine. Now, the first step of this routine is a plantar fascia stretch. You have your big toes squeezed into the ground. Your knees are really comfortable here, and if it's not comfortable, if it's painful, elevate your hips, and then we start with the first exercise. 20 seconds, we hold this. It should be really comfortable, but you feel definitely the big toe stretching out, and it might even get pretty intense. As long as it's not painful, you're chilling in this position, stretching out the big toe for 20 seconds. Few seconds left. And now for the next 20 seconds, simply get into the seiza pose. Your ankles are now extended and you're stretching out the ankles, the front of your shin. You're realigning your lower body for 20 seconds. This position as well should be comfortable. If it's not comfortable, elevate your hips as well. 20 seconds, off and on. We go for the seiza pose again. Another 20 seconds. Plantar fascia pose, sorry. These two exercises are fundamental resting positions. A lot of us lose the ability to actually sit on our knees, just rest in this position, but it actually is so crucial to realign the lower body and just keep that normal function of the knees, fully bending your ankles, being comfortable in this position. So what you want to do here is really relax and enjoy this. If it's painful, you have to elevate so you can truly relax into that position. 20 seconds. And we're going for 5 sets each. Third set here for the plantar fascia stretch. You can lean back even more if you want to intensify it. Seiza pose again. All right, perfect. Plantar fascia stretch. Lean back to make it more intense. Feel that stretch. You can also rock from side to side a little bit if you want to see if you feel a difference between the sides, maybe an ankle being more stiff. Right, last set, plantar fascia stretch. Really dig into it for that last set. Should be intense. Perfect. Last seiza. Again here as well, intensified by rocking back. You will feel your ankles stretching out, your shins. Your knees should be comfortable, especially if you've warmed up before. Perfect. The next exercise is going to be a simple deep squat hold. This as well should be a normal resting position, an available resting position for every human being. Like my grandfather in Senegal, he's 90 years old, he can still do it. It's just about, if you lose it, if you don't use it, you lose it. So what we're trying to do, get that ability back. If you can't do it like this, try to hold on to something so that you're not falling back. But pushing your feet into the ground, contracting the tips really help. So we're going for at least 3 minutes here, just holding and resting in that position. You can also rock from side to side, see how it feels. Rock back and forth. Open your hips, close your hips. It's really about opening up the hips and chilling in that position. This as well, pushing out with the elbows, feels really good, opens up the hips. We have 50 seconds, so we're gonna go for more. If you can't do it, it's not a problem. Just take a little pause, come back in again, or hold on to something to assist yourself. If it hurts the knees, take some weight off by assisting yourself on the side. And if you can't do it at all without hurting your knees, try to just use the Fascia and the plantar fascia stretch to get used to that full deep knee bend, because this is obviously, it's harder for the knees as we're holding this position actually. But everyone over time should be able to hold a deep squat like this, opening up the hips, enjoying this position, just resting really. Almost 2 minutes. As I said, we're gonna go for 3 minutes. You're gonna probably feel it here burning, because these tips are working really hard right now for you not to fall back, to keep you forward. Trains your ankle mobility as well as you try to push your knees more forward. Yeah, it's funny to me that this is something for so many people, it just looks impossible. But then for other people, it's just a chill position. They're chilling. Like, that's the goal really. As an athlete, you want to have a functional body. You want to be moving like a child. Like as a child, every single child can do this. So what we want is to restore that childlike ability, so we're just feeling good in our body. No matter what position we get pushed into in our sport, we're pretty much able to handle it. Obviously, injuries can always happen, but you know what I mean. Almost done, 10 seconds left. Perfect. Now from here, we're gonna go into an ATG split squat that will also help you develop that full deep knee bend at a regressed level if you need to. For the ATG split squat, you lower your knee, you drive it over your toes, you get that full deep knee bend, you get that ankle mobility here working by trying to push your knee further over that toe, and you try to keep that back leg as straight as possible. We're gonna go for 1 minute here, starting now. And as I said, if this is too hard of a position to hold, you can simply elevate your front foot and make it easier. Also try to keep an upright torso, don't lean forward like this. If that's the case, also you have to elevate. This will really strengthen your knee, work your ankle mobility while stretching out that back leg, the front of the hip of that back leg. And we're gonna do both sides. This is really a key exercise, that like a multi-tool. You're working your ankle mobility, you're working your knee ability, strengthening that knee, as well as working on your hip mobility. That's why this exercise is so useful and so underrated for athletes. 10 seconds left. Really feeling that ankle stretch here. Trying to push that knee over the toe, holding that position. And if it's too hard, even with elevation, just get some assistance. Now, the other side, same thing here. Try to keep that back leg as straight as possible. We're gonna go for 1 minute again. All right, there we go. Your heel might have to lift off the floor if you don't have the ankle mobility for it, but you try to drive that heel into the floor while driving the knee forwards, while keeping the back leg straight. I know it's a lot. That's why maybe you have to start regressed so you can really concentrate on these areas really good without having to balance as much. If balance is an issue, just stand wider apart with your feet. Don't have them in line. Have them like this. 20 more seconds. Don't forget to breathe as well. Really important. Your hips are being worked like crazy here. You can also try to squeeze that back glute to intensify the stretch here on the hip flexor. Keep the knee from touching the ground. So we have 1 minute on each side. Next thing we're gonna do is 40 reps of elephant walks, so 20 on each side. And what you have to look after here is to extend fully, squeeze those quads, so really feel the stretch in your hamstrings as you extend that knee, and try to keep that other knee bent. 4, losing count, 5, 6, and if this is too hard, elevate your hands. If you're not palms to floor yet, elevate your hands and do it from here. We have about 9, 10, 11. Don't blame me if I'm not counting correctly here. Talking and counting is pretty difficult. About 13 now. 14, 15, 17. Intensify the stretch by lifting your toes. 18, 19, 20. You're really opening up behind your knee here. 21. You can also use slant boards to intensify the stretch behind your knee if that's a tight area for you. Really squeeze the quads, feel that stretch. The intent on stretches is so important for the gains you're making. I guess we have 40 now. I hope this felt good for you. And as I said, if you have to regress this exercise because you're not able to go palms to floor, just elevate your hands so you're still able to put your hands onto something and then do the same movement there, okay? Next thing is a 90-90 pigeon push-up. Just get into a 90-90 position at both knees, turn towards the side where the outside of the hip is on the floor, and now try to go as low as possible. Chest to knee is the goal, but if you only get to here, that's also completely okay. Over time, you push your knee into the ground, really feel those outer hips working, you will get further and further down. And here, go for 15 reps on each side. One. Now, without turning around, you just turn your torso, and now you're stretching out that inner hip, that internal rotation. You will really feel it here in the hip socket. Just hold this position for about 30 seconds. Start the timer. Keep that knee on the floor, this knee as well, and turn around. Feel that stretch for 30 seconds. Try to turn as much as you can without fucking up your hips. Just feel the stretch. Don't forget to breathe. Perfect. And now you switch sides, exact same position with the other outside of the hip on the floor, and 15 reps again. Don't forget to push the knee into the floor. That's it. Turn around without moving and stretch out that internal rotation of the hip. 30 seconds. Keep both knees on the floor. Push that knee into the ground while turning the torso on the other side. All right, perfect. Next exercise is going to be a couch stretch, so make sure to have either a wall or a couch available right now. Make sure to get some padding to make your knee comfortable. It's absolutely essential, and the stretch is going to be much better if you're in a comfortable position. Turn around, get into this starting position right here with your shin against the wall and the other leg in front. And from here, what you can do, depending on your ability, on your mobility, 30 seconds, really intense. Push that shin into the wall and try to push yourself up. Maybe your limit is here, maybe your limit is here. The ultimate goal is to get your shoulders to the wall and hold this position comfortably, but still with an intense stretch on the quad for at least 30 seconds. We're gonna go for 10 more seconds now. Keep the intensity up and keep breathing as well. All right, switch sides. Thirty seconds. Try to squeeze that back glute here, intensify the stretch, and don't overarch your back like this. Try to keep the pelvis pretty neutral. Just squeeze that glute, push the shin into the wall. Feel that stretch. That's good. Perfect. Now get to a wall, lean against the wall, pull your feet in, make sure your whole back is against the wall and you're completely upright. Pull in the feet as much as you can. And now from here, without the dumbbells to begin with, you just push your knees down, try to touch the floor, go as far as you can. And now we're not only stretching out that groin area that is often a problem area for athletes, we're also strengthening it by pushing back up against the resistance and then stretching out again. And you can add weight if you want to make it easier for yourself, and go for 30 reps, slow and controlled. 30. Put the weights on the side and open up your legs. Enjoy that feeling and spread them out as far as you can now. Stay at the wall as far as you can. And now what we're gonna do is we're opening up the adductors here on the inside of our thighs, but we're also gonna open up those tight abs on the side, the QL muscles that is often imbalanced from side to side, as we have that preferred leg to shoot with, that preferred throwing arm. So what we're gonna do now is to stay in contact with the wall. You can start here without even lifting your hands up and just bending from side to side. You should feel a stretch here on the side. Come back up, go for the other side. And if this is too easy for you, you can simply lift up your arms like this. And now you're intensifying the stretch. You can touch the floor with your elbow, come back up, go to the other side, touch the floor with your elbow, come back up, and really work out of those QL muscles here. Really pull yourself up, not with momentum or something, really with those muscles you feel right here on the side, even on the back side a little bit. And it's gonna feel great to stretch those out. Go for 10 reps on each side. We have 3. Now. You can make it even harder by straightening the arms completely and coming back up. Last rep. Now we really mobilize that spine side to side. We may be feeling some imbalances if you feel like one side is tighter than the other. Stay in that stretch a little bit longer on that side. And now the last exercise is really going to focus on opening up that thoracic spine, those lats, those tight shoulders overhead, really making our upper body feel really good as well. So with the dumbbell pullover, we're not only stretching out our upper body a little bit, we're actually strengthening it through a large range of motion, opening up those lats, strengthening the chest, the triceps, and mobilizing the thoracic spine. So how it's gonna look is like this. You push the dumbbell off in a triangular grip, you have your shoulder blades on the bench, and now what you're gonna do is simultaneously lower your hips as well as your arms. Keep them straight, lower, 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 as far as you can, and come back up. Hips back up as well, squeeze the glutes, lower again. You will feel that thoracic spine opening, maybe even cracking, popping. Shoulders stretching out, and this shouldn't be easy. This should be a pretty hard exercise. And we're going for 12 reps here. Keep your neck straight. 4. 5. And don't worry, there is no equipment variation. I'll show a video of that right after. But the equipment variation is way more effective, strengthening and mobilizing that upper body. Last one. Let's go. As you may have noticed, it's not just nice little stretches, it's actually something that causes adaptation to your tissues, so you don't have to stretch multiple hours a week, and every time you don't stretch for a day, you get feeling worse again. This is really about making lasting changes in your body and in your whole body. Will work from your ankle all the way up to your upper body, your shoulders, even the neck is probably feeling pumped right now. I really do hope that you enjoyed this routine to follow me along. And I know if you stick to the points I've mentioned in this video, if you do the stretches, the mobilizing exercises with full intent, you will make adaptations in your body. Now, to feel better long term, so you don't have to stretch multiple hours a week and do all the additional stuff, it's key, and it's also what got me to doing all the crazy stuff, kicking in the air, doing splits. It wasn't just endless stretching or mobility routines, it was actual strength training through a large range of motion, strengthening all the areas that I was weak in so that my whole body feels better as a whole, because ultimately our body works as a whole. So I've seen a lot of people getting out of knee pain as well as improving their hip mobility and strengthening their weak ankles all at the same time, because we're really focusing on all the important areas, mainly the ankles, knees and hips for athletes. And that's exactly why each and every service or program, one-on-one coaching, whatever I provide, focuses not only on the exact problem area, obviously it does, we're attacking that weak link, but we're also strengthening all the other areas that link to that problem. So in the end, we're not leaving any areas weak or tight. And I think that was the key for me to get so many amazing results, helping people not only get out of knee pain, but the same person now has better hip mobility and stronger ankles, so that they're overall more protected for their sport and they can just enjoy their sport more freely, move more freely. That's really the goal. And if you're interested, if you think something like that could help you, and if you're interested in what I could help you with, just check out the first link in my bio and fill out the quick form. And as always, keep believing today, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.